Falcons. They've got to do it all today. A 2 best-of-3 gauntlet if they want to walk in front of the arena for the first ever IEM Krakow. Here we go. It's 3D Max versus Team Falcons.
To start things off on Anubis here, I just don't know how much time, given some of the standing situations, given some of the preparation that they've had to start off the year, they've really been able to set focus on this map of Anubis, and it's shown in some of the T sides where Falcons have not been able to really lift off. Their defenses have required firepower to get much rounds going, so we'll see what they have in store with a little bit more time to play. Lucky looking to collapse in on the flank, not so clean on the kill, but will complete the frag eventually. And it sets up for a little 4v5 in the post plant, taking map control in towards CT now.
Their C is just trying to keep them contained, trying to keep this threat available. Tessus wants this isolated fight. But now a pot flash from Monacy could be very powerful. Kyusuke first at bat. There's a second. And now it's just gravity. No kit, no armor. And 2 players, Monacy and Nico. And that will be the pistol round for Falcons. Strong start here on Anubis.
Just trying to set the tempo right there. Identify the right bomb site. Great follow-up utility coming through as well towards camera, denying that position. And being able to establish a great foothold in that post plant by dealing with that A main flank. Seen a little bit of 3D Max early on this map. Really like to utilize the new window position in towards middle, especially in the early game here, trying to catch teams off guard. They're going to do so again, flying out into the mix. Here's gravity, trying to fly into the frags in towards canals, and it will be mowed down. Nico and Monacy have it handled. It's going to be Maka left standing here. Does a little bit of damage, but will fall. Clean and easy for Falcons on the 2-0. The guns will be coming out swiftly.
Obviously, it is the Anubis, the new window, and 3D Max have loved getting aggressive through that. That's been generally the meta, is to always drop down into canals and take an early fight. But 3D Max initially, they were actually the very first Anubis official at this tournament and showcased some really nice set strategies on the CT side versus Foot. And we're able to pull back a 12-5 deficit. So they know their stuff on this map. And I'm excited. We're going to see some new stuff from 3D Max. A team that has definitely been renowned for their tactics, even back in 2025.
I think the best part about them was their explosive set plays that you kind of highlighted that they might be looking to move a little bit away from, but that still can be so useful. Look at this position from Lucky. Could simply go overlook. They try and clear it. Kickson goes wide, and eventually the trade is available here. That new angle from Kaisuke to transfer out of him as well. Punishing mid completely and taking control of the server. Great flash setup here. He's on a tear. And XRC's trying to run away. Can't escape the grasp. Kaisuke. It's just going to be body left standing here, and an absolute rampage through middle here for Falcons. This is going to get them a nice and easy 3-0.
That's what he's here for. People were making fun of him for the 0.37 rating that he posted versus Aurora on this map. That will not be the same. He was 6-17 in that matchup here last time he played Anubis. He is currently 6-1. I feel like his ace will elude him, sadly. But a much more devastating look out of Falcons to start this game. And for 3D Max's playstyle, I feel like Falcons could be the direct counter. 3D Max really want to get in your face in terms of the counter-strike that they play. But Falcons' high firepower will stop any sort of individualism like this. Oh my goodness.
I mean, sometimes could even stop the coordination, but what we're seeing right there, that backs up the great frags from Kaisuke's excellent flashes that allow him to scale through middle, that allow him to then take the fight in towards A. The trade onto Kickson, all these details being nailed down, and that's what I want to see out of Falcons today on Anubis, with a little bit more time to nail things down and figure out these T sides. You know, this is a team that we expect to have good T sides on Anubis, but haven't shown in the limited officials that they've been able to play. To get back on track here, it's aggression through A main. Nico gonna go 1 for 1 there with Kaisuke consistently finding impact. Another round where he's able to line up some trades and frags. Exorcise? No, you can't grab the AK. Trying to find it on the floor. Won't be able to snag it. And Body with the rifle spotted out towards middle. Wow.
Life does not get easier. Body just eats a grenade. This is a terrifying looking Falcons at the moment. Have some
Make themselves up a rifle here at least.
Hold on. Tessas is in trouble, but sees both players. That's going to be an acceleration over into that A site. And probably a save for these remaining 3DMX players. The Frenchman take a breather. And now 8 kills. Kyusuke's already broken the barrier set by the previous matchup.
Gotta be a breath of fresh air. It does feel like right now we're seeing a team that's just trying to get him lifted off early by how he's positioned in these rounds here, backing up and finding effective trades, sequencing these big multi-kills. And I think that's a very smart game plan for Falcons here. If you're having a little bit of, a tough map in the previous, and you want, your star players to get active and succeed, so that they can be impacting it throughout the entire map, entire series for that matter. That is a great way to get your stars to shine.
Should have been a top 20 player in some people's opinions. Even though he only played half a season, he was hard carrying. Rather, half a year. Play a full season. Get the aid here from Odyssey. Not a perfect connection, but chip damage. Be unsatisfied with.
High arc
Sam with the lineup.
AT.
I think lining up the pin of the smoke. Where does this one go?
Looking like a B execute, but this is going to be a fake. As you can see, the bomb is slowly working its way towards A main. How much of a rotation can they get off this? There's that utility being tossed in, trying to bait out the reaction. But not a lot of budging coming through because Maka's got this deep A main control here. Avoiding the crosshair for now. And looking for a deadly swing. It's a collateral out of Maka's op. And a big statement shutting this play down and forcing Falcons to rethink their decision here. Kicks in, cutting off a mid flank here, but spotting out another. Monacy striking true as well. And now the B site is knocked wide open here. Can they make it in time? Can they beat Exorcise to the punch?
Exorcise is not really running the race at the moment. He doesn't want to risk his life. Stepping forward. Now smoked out. Spam.
Okay.
Monacy, but quickly traded. Maka as well. Cannot hit the flick. Sidelined there by Tesses. The heroic duo stepping up in the 2v2. Can they stop the clutch? Lucky moving forward, round the pillar, but both players will get ready to trade each other. They've fallen back into the E-box, but Lucky realizes that. Tesses dodges the grenade, fake on the defuse for Lucky. Swinging clear, and Pixan's got the headshot as it's 5-0 for Falcons.
What a phenomenal recovery right there. All started by a skewer from Maka. Able to find a multi, another one op shot, but the quick adjustment and the contingency plans. As we know, 3D Max like to press the issue. Look at the preparedness of this Falcons camp to punish that here. So you try and react, you get caught in canals, but the follow-up flash coming through on the gravity as well is incredible. I think they just threw that running away. And you're able to deal with the flank. All the while, 3D Max had a 5v3 that crumbles in front of them, and a little bit of frustration for this squad now, as they're feeling the full force of this Falcons firepower.
Also a very interesting way to use the window or the T side. If you have that doors control, you can cut off all of those E-box flanks. and then use that to turn it into your own rotation. So the window not just CT favored all the time. And then Monacy picks up the op and just puts it to work. Maka desperately going for an opener. And Body will scoop up the op.
Interesting angle here, and he does find a kill, boosted up in a little bit of a passive angle. And is able to connect on another frag there. Monacy finding a multi for himself and Body. Taking down Tessus. That is the op spotted. It'll have to imagine speed up the decision here for Falcons away from that side of the map, and you can see that in motion. Bomb has to be scooped up. You got a bit of a rotation cut off here in the form of kicks in middle. A side is wide open for the taking here. We'll see how much more interest this 3D Max camp has in going for this, but as they head in towards T-spawn, going to miss out on any chances to flank kicks in. So Falcons should be good to move forward to 6-0. And this one should be a save.
Yeah, Monacy's sequences yesterday absolutely saved Falcons. On Dust 2 in round 11, it was a 3 versus 5. He finds 4 consecutive kills. And oh my god, that was the kill he found?
They boosted up on the backside of the angle right there, and it just gives him a headshot peek down scoping in towards the middle.
The beans. Sorry, just hypnotized there for a moment.
Terrorists win.
But
Falcons giving 3D Max the beans here.
yeah. Just, oh, the first Nicelia has been heard, as it only took 6 rounds. Not quite record pace, but we'll take it. I mean, deserved, obviously, those kills, insane. Yesterday, again, saving Falcons and keeping that game under wraps. They were down 3-7 when Monacy finds his highlight moment. And there shouldn't just be round swing as this, like, new rating 3.0 statistic. There got to be map swing in terms of these map-defining moments. As an A-rush on the cards. Once again, Nico Kiyosuke advancing. There is no Maka collateral to meet them this time, though.
Just some decent utility here out of the gates. Getting around that corner there, being able to escape the op for now. Feels like Falcons never out of these rounds, even when things start off right for 3D Max, and that is a suffocating position to find yourself in. Versus a team like Falcons. You know, their confidence coming through here. Something you want to avoid as much as possible here. Maka, again, position passive on A, but the aggression is going to work out nicely for them here.
Heaven smoke, though, so that's an easy opener for Maka. Not even blind at all. Flank develops for Gravity. Still 3 players moving in behind the smokes. Kicksan gets a molly into Heaven. Lucky. He's trying to be an awkward factor, but Kicksan finds it. Patient on the play. Monacy has the bomb is the problem, though. Eventually, he has to let go of an angle. Try and punch in the digits, but his teammates are taking space control, and the Kiyosuke just wide swings the offer, but Maka got the shot. Kicksan getting a highlight, but not enough. Running out of bullets, could not get the finishing kill on the round. 3D Max will get on the board.
Dude, almost pulling that one through. Kicksan showing a little bit of flash out of his rifle again, but not enough to complete the mission right there. 3D Max escape with a win. Being a little bit of heat, but Body making the move to trade things out. And pressure through that camera side. You have to imagine that smoke missed in towards Heaven. You can see a smoke on the back of Cake right there, and I'd have to imagine that is designed for Heaven instead. It's so hard for an Opera to ever have that level of impact scoped in through Heaven, and there's a missed opportunity for Monacy just on zooms at the wrong time. Lucky peers his head around the corner. He won't be able to claim an opening pick here. Not just yet, at least here. Gonna have to work a little bit harder for it. See if there's more boost shenanigans towards middle. Yusuke fully focused on this new window that 3D Max love to abuse. I see them finally attack this B-bomb site. Seen so many targets towards A, towards middle. We've seen a late reaction for a B play that ended up working for Falcons, but an off-spawn execute is something we haven't really seen. This is looking like a decisive move lining up here for the side of Falcons.
Luxor seems to be burned forward. A head-to-head he does not want. Kiyosuke in on the play. Smoke deployed, but Kiyosuke's going through that. Nade to it. Body seen. Tessus has got the entry. Kiyosuke needs to step up in the clutch now. As he clears out Lucky easily with the quickness. 1v1 versus Maka. Smoke into Temple. Having to navigate this. Maka with pistol out. Gonna stick on the plant. Maka, will he go through? He does. With the pistol, not enough to beat Kiyosuke. His aim is sharp today. Another triple kill plus round for him.
Just finding so much impact here, man, and it's nothing you can do if you're 3D Max. He's been set up from the very get-go. He's finding instant trades when required and stepping up in a 1v2 clutch like that. Perfect time to come through and punch right back here. Another close round that comes down to the wire, but this time 3D Max not in a position to seal things up. Soul Body saved them in the round prior. Not going to get away with that consistently up against this Falcon squad. Now we see them go back to this threat of Canals control here. Trying to boost him with the smoke for Nico. And slowly working their way through middle right now. Kicks in a little pre-fire action. Trying to turn the bend of mid. And Tessa's in charge of punishing this aggression here. Has help with Modessy's up. Tries for a fast flick, but gets punished here. Tessa's going to fall here. And Smoke going down to try and allow Modesty to creep back into the angle. HE to blow open the Smoke, and Body staying confident is going to give them another 5v3 advantage here, but it's not done just yet. Kiyosuke can always pull things back.
Stepping forward, trying to buy some space for Nico. I like the idea, making footsteps, hoping that an A player overreacts, but in a 3 versus 5, 3D Max, keep a handle on it. And Falcons had a little bit of panic because the bomb got left in spawn. That's why you saw Bonacy go for the play that he did. Some nice on-the-fly thinking from 3D Max to quickly call for a smoke break. And I don't think Sam makes it through this. Flank develops. Second CT side round here for 3D Max. You see the flicks from Maka. He's got those too. And not going to go out quietly. Are the Frenchmen. Obviously, the T side of Anubis. I think this map is still quite T favored, even with some of the changes. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned this last time we saw 3D Max playing, but that B side is still very hard to hold on the defense. I don't think a lot of the changes have, shifted that up a lot. They're positioning the cover not as effective, and we can see some of the best crossfires on that B bomb site get broken down. But it allows you more opportunities, at least on this defense, to create opening picks for yourself with that mid window, and a little bit of E-box spam right there. A lot of damage done. Yusuke, he's not fearing the resistance here, but a flashbang that also catches kicks in. I don't know if that was a team flash or if it was his own flash there. And honestly misses in middle. So this thing crumbling at the seams here for Falcons, slowly getting plucked apart, and 3D Max now dictating the pace of play here. Getting aggressive through middle in a couple of these rounds, in towards B as well, and not allowing anything for Falcons to go their way. No comfortable duels for them. Then a little bit of frustration and giving themselves a foundation on the CT side.
Yeah, just a couple of individual mistakes, and Kiyosuke going down to 6 HP off the start of the round. Makes life really difficult. That team flash, was that? I'm wondering if that was Kicksan's own flash or
I think he just
someone
threw it for
else's?
himself and maybe peaked a little early. I don't know.
Would have been a double kill if he finds Gravity. Lucky was full blind.
And we can see
Middle.
that Kickson's playing sharp on the rifle as well. Like he's been hitting the transfers. He's quick enough to land those, at least today, and missed opportunity for sure.
Counter-terrorists win.
Not getting loud just yet. I think both teams really feeling the tension. Nico was talking about it in the interview. The pre-match. There's been a lot of tension in these games here at Krakow. A lot of expectation. Obviously, Falcons not making any roster changes in the offseason and still believing in this. Nico also said in an interview it's a bit of a relief not having to go through changes and continue to work on this current lineup. And I think there's still plenty more to grow. I mean, because Yusuke is just an incredible player, and that core can absolutely take you to new heights as it can develop. So Yusuke, Nico, and Monasi, perhaps a trio we'll be talking about for a long time.
Sure hope so. Like in the build, even though it hasn't netted them as much success as they would have liked just yet, there feels like they're bound to get there at some point here. Nico with the rifle, backs are turned, and more Canals aggression, just threading a little frustrating jab there for body. And is able to escape around the corner, but guess who's helping him out in that escape here? It's Maka posted up with the op, so a trade attempt comes through. Another frag offered up here. Nico investing into the hero rifle. But so far, no targets revealing themselves. It's been backs turned for 3D Max in these last couple of rounds and catching your opponent off guard in these little hints of aggression. Wanted a more decisive play towards that A side, but getting met by that Canals aggression disrupts their game plan. It drops crucial utility. Now you got to think on the fly or rely on the firepower of Nico. See if he can have his moment.
It's actually not bad in terms of the space. Gravity does waste his HE. There's no smoke break proper, but now 4 players from 3D Max have rotated in. Is there a headshot? No. No space gain. Tesses with just a P250. And the eco goes nowhere for Falcons, despite a little bit of space being handed over by the French. And 4 rounds on the defense is not bad already for 3D Max, despite the absolutely flying start we saw. Kiyosuke finding a triple kill, a quad kill. And Monasi having his own sequence. But as slowed down, there's been some great moments of 3D Max team play. This is just pure individualism. Running forward, first headshot taken by Gravity.
Yeah, I feel like at some point there, they're going to continue this aggression, and Exorcist doing a lot of damage. But they just go back to what is so familiar, so comfortable for them, and that is non-stop intensity. 3D Max are pressing every extremity possible here. Gravity going to avoid the spam and stay posted on pizza. I'm looking to find the follow-up frags. Might be overlooked, and Maka is pushing with an op, but his 5-7 is what he's going to lead this charge with, calling mid clear. Starting to get good information on where this play is heading. And the B side is stacked accordingly. Falcons constantly left suffocated here. Maka now going to be a part of this B defense at some point as that main smoke fades away. Everyone tucks back into the cubby, tries to find safety here. Multiple mollies tossed in to start this thing off here. Flashman coming through as well, but Kaisuke opening things up with 2 frags, a headshot to follow it up as well. And now it is just Maka. Somehow the site crumbles, and a missed shot from Maka might cost him his life here. Another miss. He can't finish off the frag. Nothing out of this AWP. And Kickson in another clutch opportunity could net Falcons 8 here. If he can pull through with one more kill. Lucky has been holding strong for 3D Max, but he will be finished off by a headshot. And somehow the sight hold crumbles to the floor. Falcons gonna claim an 8th.
Falcons known for losing 3v5s, but how about winning them? As Kiyosuke with the spray transfer, and somehow Kixan pulls up clutch to get 8 rounds for Falcons on the T side of Anubis. Obviously, it's not all done. We know what kind of map Anubis is, but Falcons are red hot on the most important day of the group stage.
No question about it, man. Kiyosuke showing some serious level here in this matchup as well, helping out in multiple 3v5s now. And looking to share them up a pistol while they're at it. But as you said, job not finished just yet. This T side from 3D Max is lethal. Starting things off with a pistol would be a luxury. Gravity putting some pressure on middle and walking into a bit of a limited defense on this B side. Gearing up for much more of a retake-centric approach in that direction. Kicks in with the kit and a smoke, playing very passive. The bomb will be planted free of charge. No opening duels just yet with Gravity tucked in for a late lurk here. Will he be cleared? Nico, is he going to overlook this? It doesn't look likely. He's going to give him a good swing here and finish off the frag. So opening advantage now for Falcons.
There's a kit available on Kixan. Body stepping forward. Critically will not find the kill. Kiyosuke will actually collect it as Kixan stepping forward. Great headshot for one. Gets Exorcise. It doesn't even need to use the smoke. As Tesses will clean up Lucky pistol round for Falcons and are well on their way to taking this map.
We've seen a big step up today here for Kixon as well. Eager to prove his form. You know, definitely had a tough go of it yesterday versus NRG, but coming through here and finding some crucial rounds, not only ending off that last half, but with a smoke in the kit, being able to find himself a couple of frags to make that retake all the easier. Falcons now completing both pistols here. And the job for 3D Max just gets that much more tricky now. This to be their bread and butter. This map to offer up a lot of confidence for them. The Falcons are showing what they're made of here. Give themselves a great T-side, and winning that pistol could do even more here. This is a tough job for Kaisuke, though. Flashbang through the smoke. Is he prepared for this?
Not at all. Full spamming, though, and nearly gets multiple anyways. Still, comes down to Kixan. Nico also playing forward. And Lucky goes down critically. Now everyone's coming in from E-Box. There could be a crucial crossfire between Kixan and Nico, as they will begin their run. Already getting past the angle. A pair of frags for the Falcons. Kixan will make it more. And Tassus on the SMG. It is 10-4. Now for Falcons as they vanquish the Force Buy.
I mean, consistently finding impact. Another big multi-kill to Kixon. Shoring up that B bomb site. A little bit of help getting where he needs to be in time. Finding that spray through the smoke as well. So it becomes a one-pronged approach through E-Box for 4 players. That is tricky to make work there for 3D Max, and we see the result. Eagles and Tech-9's in the mix here. 3D Max, I'm sure, have a little bit of confidence in their ability to come back from pretty steep deficits, but this is a different roster, a much different team, jam-packed with firepower and experience to back it up. These aren't the rookies of foot.
Kixan having a pop-off game, and Kiyosuke just taking liberties. He would like to practice his aim. Test his metal versus the Deagles. That's another triple for Kiyosuke. Racking up the ADR. And just oozing confidence right now are Falcons. That's just what you want to see. Sometimes they let the pressure get to them. They start caving in. They start playing passive. They start thinking too much about their fights. But Kiyosuke knows he's locked in. He knows he's the best player in the server right now. And he'll take any swing.
No doubt about it here. Fighting for that E-Box control is integral to this defense for Falcons, and allowing Kiyosuke to get away with these aggressive moves is fantastic work from them. Trying to play around the molly, though, his body, and Monesi will instantly dismiss that here. Sticking around for middle, and he's looking to find some follow-up frags there. No multi out of him. Nico also forced slowly off the line. Trying to find some more impact. Gravity trying to punch through here. And again, this B site being looked at by Lucky. The smoke going down towards main here. Maka making a move. Past the camera smoke. Trying to inch his way through into Temple. And apply some extra pressure on B. They're going to give up the site and focus their efforts on middle. This isn't a bad idea from Falcons.
Forward from Kixan. Quick trade from Kiyosuke, but now has to turn back and run. Help out that B site. And he goes down instantly. Lucky was holding that. Gets the headshot. Bomb to be planted. Molly to E-Box. Question is here for Falcons. You even try for this? Tessus wants in. Need forward. But no easy kills come his way. And Falcons will have to save. I like the idea from Falcons. Obviously, you're 4v4. The map is getting closed in upon. You don't have mid control, no B main. Nothing. They try to fight backwards. And Maka has a nice swing in him, too. Now Monesi gets his AWP. This round was effectively the bonus.
Terrorists win.
For those B players, I think it's so important that you at least are able to set your focus in on one prong of that attack as opposed to trying to set up a crossfire to deal with multiples, especially when temple control is a little bit of a vulnerability in the defense. Good reaction coming through there, but Gravity able to punish in a big way with that frag alone. Still even Maka around in the late lurk as well. As you said, bonus coming through there will be bested by 3D Max, but now we do have that Monasiop into the mix. He's on the line towards A main. 3D Max being able to punch back is what they need to see here.
Off angle taken.
It's a dry swing, and it's a connection out of Monasi as well. Nico follows it up, and another frag from Monasi. 2 kills rolling through from his AWP, and 3D Max trying to sneak a fast one onto Falcons. But a big reality check there as the Monasiop is fully in play.
That was almost devastating, though, because Tesses just pulled out grenades and stepped in front of Monasi's scope at the same time. There are so many ways that could have gone wrong. But it's Monasi, so it didn't. I don't think that smoke land... Did it? No, it did. It did,
yeah,
actually.
It's in towards Temple. It's really interesting utility right there. We've seen a lot of good smokes from 3D Max already in that position. Threw it in the...
No. Okay, yeah. I was like, there's no
okay.
way that went correctly, right? I'm like, pretty sure that went into the stratosphere, but... that's pretty obvious. Well, it's not enough for Maka to find the kill. So, this is a situation 3D Max have been in before.
5-12. Again, this is a much different story now versus players like Monasi, Nico, Kayusuke. While we know that that foot squad was jam-packed with firepower, this is elevated that much more. And right now, Kixon also popping off again with a point to prove. To step up for his team. He has been available at almost every step of the way. But this is what I'm talking about here, where I think you could have gotten away with that versus a lot of different oppers. You were mentioning that's a tough shot to hit for Monasi, shooting around the shoulder of Tessus. But he is so precise, he's going to get away with that. When you're down this bad versus a team like Falcons, it only takes one round out of someone on this team to lift off and close things out now.
Yeah, and Monasi has been putting in good sequences all throughout this map as well. Only one particular miss that I can remember. Other than that, it has been some sharp shots, some clean doubles. That's just what you want out of your opper. You don't need a Monasi 4K or an insane clutch every round. Just consistency is what he has brought to the table. And a great push. Well timed, but the execution a little off there for Kixan. Don't worry, Monasi has got the backup though here, but does just barely miss. Body lucky to be alive. Now mid pressure from 3D Max. Might have to be amplified now as Body does drop on the second try. B-site under threat as 3D Max getting to CT spawn.
The bomb is going to be removed, though. It is positioned towards B main. Kayusuke aware of the vulnerabilities of this attack here. Gravity, though, routing this one the long way around. Spotted out by Monasi. And there's another multi-kill out of his op. Another one looking to peer around the corner. 15 seconds left. Kayusuke going to get traded out here. They hear the flank, but they can't finish it. And Monasi just needs to connect this. Last op shot, double zoomed. A little bit too much vision. And Exorcise, a chance to buy a little bit of life. Nico chasing him down. Won't allow him to get off the bomb. And it's going to be Falcons finishing the job there clean. A dominant performance on Anubis to open us up.
Yeah, once again, clean sequences for Monasi. A little miss towards the end, but you see the flicks are there. The flash is in the server. Kiyasuke, 20 kills deep in that game as well. Absolute beast with 100+ ADR. And even Kixan stepping up. Falcons have every element in their favor, and the X factor and more to continue pushing this series forward.
I mean, the best part about it here is we're seeing Falcons determine how they want to start off this game, setting up Kaisuke for success out of the gates and being able to leverage that throughout the rest of the series. Now, he's confident, he's hitting shots, he's finding frags. You got Kixon winning crucial clutches for his squad, finding massive multi-kills. You've got a full team effort that's showing up to play. And everyone on Falcons is buying in here to how they want to close off Anubis. And versus a team like 3D Max, we knew this was going to be a big challenge for them. We didn't think, Anubis was going to be easy. I was kind of putting this as 3D Max's win condition in this series, as we know this is a team that 3D Max historically struggle with. That sort of firepower that this roster possesses is something we should expect 3D Max to lose to. But to see it flare up like this on Anubis, kind of a concern here for them out of the gates.
Yeah, definitely a big gut punch here for 3D Max, who, again, are just trying to
capitalize with his firepower, with this explosive nature. We got some consistency out of Monacy. We got Kixon offering up massive clutches when called upon. I just don't think there was a single missing piece there. That's kind of what you hope to highlight when we look at this Falcons roster. And it doesn't necessarily always come into fruition, but in that last map, it certainly did. And it didn't leave 3D Max a chance. Now we hop into this map of Dust 2 here, map that has kind of haunted 3D Max for Falcons. Used it to close out yesterday. We'll see if they can keep up the success story as they look to try and lock themselves an opportunity at playoffs.
Just around all the way. Already a long push at a minute 30, and Exorcise surprises Tesses. He was holding for it just a little bit, but the discipline not perfect. And now a mid to B smoke launched. But look at this, Exorcise is already in Sui right now. I'm not talking about the player. That's already going to have some backs turned, but cleared, gooshed instantly and dealt with. Kiyosuke is just so sharp and aware.
Just trying to take a passive approach there on that angle, and he just gets blasted. Now aggression queuing up, and the bomb dropped in towards upper tunnels. So this puts a wrench in the system here. Dooley's around the corner, and Gravity going to find a follow-up. Should be able to be shut down from this point. They're up catwalk. They're up towards the top of mid. USPs in the hands of Nico. Got to be careful about how many chances you give him. And a long flank. A kid coming through from Maka. Continued pressure applied from 3D Max. And there's the energy much needed out of the Frenchman.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a talk in between the maps as well, because the energy was just flat from 3D Max. We had no shouting. We had no excitement. Or felt like they were going through the motions as Kiyosuke and Monacy picked them apart. So that's a different story. Try to get some momentum flowing as pistols are going to be running out long. Desert Eagle for Kiyosuke, but off angle for Maka. Works out well. Monacy next at bat. But nothing gives. Max already showing a really annoying play style that we kind of talk about.
Yeah,
they just keep pushing. We saw that flank from Exorcise, and then 30 seconds later, Maka runs all the way through the A site and flanks. It's just a very 3D Max type of play. You see there.
Consistently collapsed. That was what they looked their best on Anubis by far. You're just going to highlight that. The frustrating play that they were able to bring together on that defense for the 4 rounds that they were able to collapse on. It was aggression on top of aggression all over the extremities. It was testing the default here, seeing what Falcons could put together, and it was catching them off guard. And while, there were certain occurrences there where Falcons were still able to pull things back, and that's a credit to Kaisuke and his rifling. For the most part, 3D Max, at least from the very pistol, showing that they're willing to continue that game plan. Has to be a discussion as they head into the CT side of Dust 2. How do we continue to find these defensive rounds? What worked well for us on Anubis? It was a lot of intensity and finding those pressure points on the Falcons' default.
A long push this round. Particular, but this committed position from Lucky. CT player always defines the defense on this map and where he decides to lean, and Lucky choosing the B site. I wonder what the tell is here for 3D Max. Or maybe it's just a gamble. Whatever the case, they have 3 players here. A mid to B, a favorite setup for the French.
Oh, Kaiosuke still breaking through. There's a flash that is trying to get collapsing in on them, but Kaiosuke with another entry, and the trio on B all fall. There's the rifling prowess coming through there, making light work of that defense and forcing Gravity and Exorcist to save in towards the long, but a phenomenal collapse coming through and even more impact out of the gates here for the hot hand of Kaiosuke. Now we got Tessus set up in towards long doors. I don't think they'll go peering around that corner too far. Just going to set Exorcist up for a boost, and all should be well to end off this round with a couple rifle saves. What a sequence coming through again out of him. You know, there's still flash there as well for Maka, unfortunately, and it doesn't allow for them to collapse in on middle. There's great coverage for the window peak, and while 3D Max wanted to set their focus in towards middle, you talked about it, trying to have that extra player there. When it gets blown up instantly, it shifts the tone of that defense.
And that's a very frustrating thing, is 3D Max with the right read, and I feel like they're always very good at positioning, but they don't have that X factor that pushes them through. Lucky normally is that player and has been that player. And to see him go missing at a time like this could be critical, as it will be a fast long take for Falcons. A lot of flashes. No kills. 3D Max are out of there. And this is also just a half buy from the French. Just one singular round loss puts them on eco, because they want to get out that AWP as soon as possible for Maka.
Just going to lean in on the rifles that they save, and now we're back up to pressing on different parts of the map here. Getting aggressive towards top mid, draw, peek around the corner. Lucky trying to scoop up the rifle, can't get it whipped out in time, and a trade needed and found. Okay, Yusuke. So Falcons able to punch back at the aggression towards the top of middle. They drop the 2 rifles. Crucially going to make their lives easier because of it. No ticking the molly though for the 5-7 of Maka. A trade is though quickly around the corner. And Body going to be pressing through tunnels. The A-bomb site fully clear. Maybe trying to find a rifle to hold on to for the next.
Not a bad round from 3D Max, but once again, the execution not perfect. The trade was not clean because Yasuke again with the double kill. Body is staying interested. It's just for some extra damage. He will have a buy in the next round regardless, so no reason to be super concerned. So after these performances from Kiyosuke, was he robbed of the top 20?
I mean, it's always tough when a player comes through halfway through the season because there's just less opportunities, less results. I don't know about robbed, given that fact, but, you know, we're very likely going to see him now in that conversation this year, right? And coming through with a point to prove. Had a little bit of a, unfortunate start with not being able to show up to the opening bounty land that they were able to make it through, but trying to give him as many opportunities at that, making it into the playoffs will definitely start that conversation for him nicely. Maka, aggressive, missing a shot though on the follow-up swing, and getting spammed through the smoke there. Tessus with a sharp shot there to not deny the escape, and Maka so desperately searching for these frags will already sideline the op that they waited so patiently for.
Kiyosuke knows this is CS2. He knows an op is holding him, so the solution is just to swing faster. Exorcist down, takes attack through the doors. TSS also clearing long, and Falcons using their extra player wisely to figure out the setup.
It's a lot nicer if
50
Tessus had a
seconds.
set of utility here. Doesn't have that luxury. Nico could get
HE.
finished off here. HE gotta sail past him, but he's still boxed in. Throwing a lurk smoke to try and get himself out, but Lucky gonna queue up for some aggression. Flashbang around the corner. Lucky pressing the issue and clears out tunnels completely, but this is gonna queue up for Tessus to strike. Now Gravity with his back turned towards Long. It doesn't expect for the activity, but a huge whiff from Tessus. Not gonna matter too much. They're still scaling up Catwalk at least. Site should be claimed. Numbers should be punched in, but a retake is on.
Nobody likes to watch that. Nobody likes to see that. Even the strongest hater. 3 versus 4 post playing. Kiyosuke up top, not ready for Exorcist. He only has 24 HP though, holding for Modesty, but Modesty had the quick scope. Flashbang is perfect on the body, but Kickstand doesn't want to take it to the house. Modesty will put together the finishing sequence as some yikes, but never even matters because Kiyosuke's him.
We saw the nice practices right there in the pregame to this series. And right there, that's where Tessus lets out his loudest nice, knowing that he could have cost his teammates a little bit more there. But with the trust, they're able to trade things out and still complete the post plant. Such a strong advantage, and Tessus was the one that netted them that opening pick. Straight through the smoke. Some quick redemption from Falcons. Gonna take them a lead.
And I mean, for 3D Max, again, another golden opportunity to take a round, but it's hard to execute versus the Falcons team that is just so sharp. That's the opener from TSS. Perfect smoke spam. You don't get to see the low lights. That's why they're called highlights.
We see the best of Tessus there. We see the best of Falcons show up consistently today. That can be their ticket. Right now, everyone coming through. Firing on all cylinders. Kiyosuke trying to challenge these USPs as the confidence continues to be built here for him. You can see the concern here out of Falcons as well for the aggression. Nico maybe trying to line up a smoke at some point to be a late activator in this round. We'll see that utility start to come through eventually. There's not a lot of counter
Block the smoke.
It's a single flashbang for these USPs to maybe get around that corner, but you're right. Smoke is blocked, so forcing a second one out of Kiyosuke. Oh my god.
All right, that's a start. Flashbang in. Exorcist getting antsy around the smoke, and a missed shot from Monacy. Texas will salvage, but there's another Deagle headshot through the smoke. Are you kidding? One more makes a lurk play.
No
And
way.
Gravity. No way. There's another for body. And our Gravity comes through. There's a backstab. A full eco victory from 3D Max. Could be on the cards. Monacy can't connect. 1v3 in 15 seconds. This is impossible. 3D Max pull off just a crazy round. Unbelievable.
I mean, just blind fire rattling off through the smoke right there is going to leave Falcons infuriated. Well, should have been good setup, good follow-up utility, but too much chaos caused out of that. The blocked utility that you highlight early. And this blind fire. Flashbangs to follow up to try and allow them to cross, but the first bullet out of his Deagle, while blind, is a connection to the smoke. A ridiculous sign in the kill feed and a big round for 3D Max to win. Limiting the economy here and setting up Body for some aggression. Deagle out here for Tessus. Gets finished off in a follow-up for Body, nailing these frags. A man advantage still going to be manufactured by Body. And a speed up from Kaisuke, trying to chase down through the catwalk. Sees a shoulder. But Lucky falls out. Exorcism and T-spawn. He's in suicide right now, looking for the follow-up flanks and more frustration. 3D Max carrying forward some of that momentum off a miracle round. And it's just Kaisuke without the bomb. It's on the other side of the map, unidentified. He's going to need to find a lot more than just one here, and he finds another. Mako next to bat with the op. He's looking to cut him off here, and he won't allow him to slide through. 3D Max going to deny the heroics. And Falcons going to be left shattered in the economy.
And then there's the execution from 3D Max. Obviously a team who on paper lacked the firepower. Body with a clean double in top mid is a great way to start. And then again, just these 3D Max plays where they continue pressing forward, taking space, playing in your face with yet another long flank from Exorcise. Some outplays here. Kiyusuke running through the incendiary, open for a 1-dig. Now Tessus next to swing with just the Glock. He swaps to the Deagle, and not enough for that. Exorcise will take his double and allow Maka to take over. And 3D Max are going to start extending a lead on Dust 2. Oh! Hit the Glock. A seesaw swing from Big Sam was pretty good.
Yeah. That pesky head armor. Not giving him a kill here. Goes down to 1 HP. Nico, of course, expecting for 3D Max to follow up on the aggression. He's right in expecting it. The base is covered now. Focus in on the footsteps, and 3D Max with a flawless round there. Timeout called from Falcons. The pressure starts to rise on this T side. 3D Max building momentum with every shout, with every push in the map. And those are the defensive rounds that this team needs to live on.
A very pesky team to deal with. And this happens similarly in the NRG game, this kind of back and forth. Falcons lost the Force Buy War versus NRG. And it took a Monacy moment to claw back a 7-2 deficit. Here it's just 5-3. Now's a better time than ever, as even Maka getting some laughs out of the pendulum swing back and forth. Threatening some aggression already. Here comes the nade. Is Maka gonna flash Body through the smoke? The cat player's incoming as well. This is gonna be an explosive round. But Kiyusuke deals with the aggression. Body down early. And a quick advantage here for Falcons. But Kiyusuke gives it back up, jumping up on the catwalk, spots 2 players. And with Maka also holding that green box, honestly could be in trouble.
Flashbang landed on top of Xbox instead of blinding up those players on Cat, so no more visual given here, but Falcons getting called over towards that B site. And the only defense is on the outside of those doors. Gravity playing in the passive position and looking to take charge while also backing up his opera towards middle. Maka getting a little bit inquisitive, but in the meantime, Kixon starting to clear things out, get some good information. Eventually that utility going to start to land here. No kills out of Gravity just yet, and they escape his crosshair for now. They want to continue to force the issue. Now met by multiple mollies. That is no longer an option. Monacy on mid-lurk, avoiding the op here, but getting charged down by 3 players. He's tapping him out with the rifle instead here. And 3 headshots rattle off for Monacy. Complete destruction on the rotate. 3D Max now going to look to bail out here. Gravity, who is trying to keep him at bay here, is going to get dropped in on by Monacy. He's looking for a 4K. trying to complete this one through elimination, and Gravity is stuck behind the wall of these B doors. Will be finished off eventually. That's a big sequence from Monacy, though, with the rifle.
Just 3 individual duels, 3 individual victories. That is Monacy's firepower in a nutshell. Like, just not really swinging together here. Disconnected and a missed op shot from Maka. Woefully punished. A lack of coordination and some depressing faces, but that's a great shot. Maka diffs Monacy in this round, and even taking some extra steps forward into the lower tunnels. Pressure on the B side for Falcons, but not much they can do but the smoke in their face. This is a good start for the French.
Yeah, any man advantage you can manufacture. We know what that means here for 3D Max. It doesn't mean hit the brakes, that's for sure. So often going to be continued with follow-up aggression. And against this Falcons team, that always feels like a scary move, but it's worked out for them for the most part. Trying to consistently punch holes in this attack here. Big gaps are over towards that B side if they wanted to press that extremity here. They're hearing the footsteps rattle off towards Catwalk. Ichi tossed in. Trying to chip away at some more damage here, forcing him to fall away. Nico caught by some flashes in middle, and he misses a shot there. Maka looking for the second frag and won't be able to find it now. Long aggression looking for the trade here for Kingston, and he'll go down. Exorcise keeping things stable. Bomb is dropped on the floor of long doors. And this slow creep up towards the catwalk is going to lead Lucky into some difficulties. Flashbang has to be ducked out by Kayusuke. And that's going to set Lucky up nicely on the swing. Just Nico left standing and getting flanked down here. Gravity offering up the finishing blow. And a nice recovery for 3D Max, capitalizing on the man advantage that Maka brings to the table.
Yeah, Exorcise. He's a medal for that long hold. Because if he falls, Lucky is screwed. The whole round goes wrong. 3D Max were actually out of position for this very A split. Saved. In that moment. Exorcise has been playing some solid Counter-Strike right now on the CT side. And Maka had a corner smoke tossed at him, but not budging. So you can see 3D Max basically have 4 players on the B side of the map.
Oh. There's a little bit of information. One player spamming off the flashbang.
Must have just been the wind, huh? I don't think there's anyone in upper tunnels.
It's just Nico, we swear. Only him lurking about there. You don't have to overreact, guys. Now with the mid smoke here, as you said, still a heavy lean.
Ow.
Great HE to start off this defense here. Careful about how you play out this smoke, because he's starting to get spammed. Gravity in between the lurk smoke and the tons, now helped out by Body and his spam damage as well. And these HP bars continue to dwindle. It is a limp force around the corner. Nico finally offering up a headshot, but Lucky with 3 to bounce back there and shut things down. And a perfect defense on that B site. Just going to give 3D Max even more stance on the CT side.
Another B stack here for 3D Max, helped out by Maka, who was just holding onto long. They threw a long corner smoke, but it missed. So Maka felt no threat in that round. They had 2 players close middle. Didn't hear any presence. So, okay, I guess we're going to stack 3B. And for those wondering, there's like a 1% win rate on that 3-man B hold. Now out long, they finally test Exorcise on a real long take. With just the pistols, Exorcise has to reload though, and will fall. Lucky leaving him out to dry with a secondary AWP.
Kaisuke tossing in what little utility they have left to grab himself an AK, and I'll say that's well worth it for what he's been pulling together today. AK in his hands and half his HP. But again, there is no round where 3D Max let off the gas, and that's going to remain true. Gravity pushing up towards the top of middle. And long re-aggression coming through here. But in the meantime, B side is vulnerable. And they've already gotten past the crosshairs. Long's called clear. Now you got to rush the rotate and Body. and towards this B bomb site. It's going to be a foot race, one that Falcons don't know they're in. The contact walk out and towards this B bomb site. One smoke in as well.
And the body got in his smoke just a little late. And Kyosuke breaks through. Lucky on this secondary up there. It's a gap in the doors, though. He'll get damaged, too. But now off angle taken there by Nico. It's dangerous, though. That ton smoke about to fade. As Gravity walking through it is already into the site. Nico tucking away currently at car, needs to help his teammates desperately because Gravity has just rooted out the B site. 3D Max come through with the comeback, and they have a lead here, 8-4 at the half. $10 bazillion or some French guys. Well, fellas, the French guys are winning. It is 8-4 right now, and breaking the microphones at the moment are 3D Max as they're going off, man. They're finding new ways to win rounds every time. I mean, started off with those deagle headshots through the smoke, and then flanks on flanks on flanks. Well played here by 3D Max so far, and we could be seeing Ancient if this continues.
See if that takes place here. CT side still trying to collapse in, and that's a nice start. Exorcist opening up on the pistol. And 3D Max with a little bit of leverage towards the long side. Nico is out in the open. He still finds a headshot there. Clotheslines Exorcist while blind. But eventually the breakthrough kill coming in. And a deep smoke in towards CT is going to allow for that bomb to cross or be tossed on over instead. Retake in order here. Out of the trio of Monesi, Kaiosuke, and Kixen. See if they can recover a bit of an awkward smoke. That might allow them to bypass it. Headshots need to be rattled off, and Monesi with the dual Berettas at range is still firing up here. More targets handed over to this trio. It's just body left and the back of the lines. And he gets finished off as well. Falcons somehow instantly recover there. The headshot still lifted off was a tone setter for Monesi, and the rest of his team backs him up.
Oh my god. And that's just Falcons in a nutshell. They are in any round. And especially the pistols, because everyone's got insane aim on this team. The credit's got to go to Kixan, though. Had 1 kill in the first half, but he was instrumental in breaking through there. Alongside Kaiosuke. Who, again, just another monster performance so far from him.
What an incredible recovery for them as well. Needed something to go right in this second half, and having a retake like that to formulate is a huge relief. I think this is a forced buy here for the Falcons camp. It's not. They've got some investment. They've got some utility. They don't have the armor to back it up here. Body going to peer around that corner. Shadow going to give him up initially. And Nico going to take a kill free of charge. Kaiosuke trying to peer down through middle. Making sure to help out that B site first. But with a smoke and 1 flashbang. Where do they want to set their focus in? On 3D Max. Walking out towards the B site. Not looking like it'll be so easy.
That nade's gonna hurt. Just a little B-side execute. We have Kixan in the corner. Make your money here, fellas. $600 pocketed and a comeback. Could be in order here for Falcons. It's a great start for them. And maybe even an op drop over to Monesi if Kixan feels like it. Got a game. 3D Max not out of the woods yet. They played excellently on that CT side. Had some great tactics. But now having to find new ways to win against this firepower from Falcons. Kaiosuke again at bat, aggressive in mid. Turns the flash, but the spray's not great. Not what we're used to so far in this game. But not punished for it, so it's all good.
So much precision out of Kaiosuke. Watching him miss like that it just feels so wrong. But as you said, not punished and being able to apply a little bit of pressure and still remaining confident in this stance. Boosting up a player as well, so I really feel like they've got a good sign of light towards that catwalk. No one's there. But look at this call coming through here. A lot of faith placed in Tessus. Alone in long. Flashbang through the doors. Will catch him perfectly in body. Able to explode on that play. Tessus taken down. And this A site is incredibly vulnerable. A double up through the aggression of Tons. And sides are turned. Nico doesn't get finished off and will complete the kill. So an equalizer found. But that A site is lost.
They had 2 players seen, so you see 3D Max accelerate, but they haven't gotten the bomb planted yet, which allows for some disruption from Monesi specifically. That's the bomb down. Luckily, it didn't fall into CT spawn. Kaiosuke in front of the smoke, just on the edge of it. It's not a favorable fight for him. You can see his shoulder, the spam coming through. Kaiosuke will live, Nico will not. Still, who is going to plant that bomb with 15 seconds on the clock and the flank developing as well from Kixan? Time on the clock. Easy kill for the first. Then the follow-up. Kixan needing all of them, but the spray's no good. Time low. 5 seconds. And Body won't be able to pick it up and plant. 8-7 as Falcons continue the roll.
It's messy. It's scrappy, but Falcons going to get another one on the board. Big sigh of relief right there. As they somehow manage to find victory. There were so many timings that could have worked against them. That Nico double up on the aggression through tons. Should have gotten punished right there. Getting caught in this flank. Exorcy's going down to 1 HP, but then they have Kixon in the back lines ready to strike as well. And Falcons stay afloat in that last round. Now they look to soar in this one to tie things up. The vulnerabilities of this T side definitely known on the Falcons camp. Take a big dip in those rounds. It's largely why this team has struggled so much on this map of Dust 2, and now activating early before those smokes are fully informed. And an HE to blow it open. Nico trying to create a little extra help there. Gravity at least gets tucked in and allow for a slow peek coming through from Body. Smoke fades away in towards tunnels, and it's a multi from Kixon, keeping this round in safe hands. Body left alone in his mid play here. Tessa's gonna play the smoke fade and missed shot from Monacy. Bombs down on B. Kixon in a clutch again, looking to save Falcons here.
This is a 1v4 attempt right now for Body. Kixan can pick any angle he wants in this site, though. And he'll take the headshot angle at the back of the site. HP basically null and void. Hoping that Kixan overthinks this. Body, he could make a read. He knows Kixan is low. He knows those Tech 9s got the damage in. And as he starts moving between each different angle, he starts to isolate. He makes a footstep, though. Kixan on notice. Where could he be? Body making no secret of it. Kixan doesn't want to wait for it, though. He will take the headshot and stop a calamity.
And another crucial clutch coming through from Kixon. I know this second map has not been the best for him, but first map treated him kindly with multiple massive victories pulled together. And what we talk about so often is Falcons in what feels like impossible rounds. A 1v4 at hand for Body, and it was one bullet away from completing it. But Kixon bails everybody out right there. And now we're tied up at 8s here just as quick as could be. Op shot doesn't rattle off there in middle with the boost. Long duel doesn't pan out either. Early plays from 3D Max. Not as easy in the second half just yet.
Bunch of nade breaks in middle, but no one gives it up. People doubt Kixan. Kickstand, whatever you want to call him. But honestly, it feels like he's learned a little bit playing alongside these superstars, because he starts to swing with superstar mentality right there in the clutch. Not the Kixan I remember from days gone by. 19 HP, knows where his opponent is. Sometimes you let the pressure and the tension get to you, especially as an in-game leader who doesn't have the confidence in his aim. But Kixan is one of those in-game leaders who can frag. He really wanted to back himself on this one, too, standing in front of his own smoke. Smoke spam could be very devastating, though. But no one is going to go for it. They're going to try and walk this again. As Monacy opens up. Smoke about to fade. Kixan with the many targets. First, not quite the second, but then that sets up Monacy. Underhand, flashbang forward. Maka run away. 10 seconds on the clock with the bomb. And you're not planting here on the B site. Falcons are going to take the lead.
Blocking them out on the very inbound right there. Monacy with a lovely multi, being able to handle the pressure towards middle and backing up Kixon on the B stand as well. Monacy helping out this Falcon squad, taking a lead. Falcons now with 9 are looking to take over control. Another 3D Max timeout. The game plan being left limited. And for a T side throughout last year that's been full of these aggressive plays. These off-spawn calls that always feel like such a risk. But it's what 3D Max have lived on. They are letting the timer draw out, and that's a little bit tricky up against this Falcon squad that has so much firepower. You get disrupted a little bit on your play. 1 kill in, and that's going to change the tides of a late round contact play. And Kixon provides the right amount of aggression. Waiting on that smoke fade. Monacy with a blind shot certainly doesn't hurt either.
What? He just adjusted like full blind.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's just not fair.
Aka is seeing nothing cross right now. Are they going to speed it up B? That would be a bold
like it.
and ambitious call.
No free picks. That's what Falcons are saying right now.
Ooh, okay.
Modesty jumping around the corner right there.
Is
Gives
he gonna
Maka a
swing him?
chance.
Now they know an op's in play. Which means 3D Max have very low utility. Got a bunch of smokes, limited flashbangs. They're going to try and bully Tesses here at long. This time, though, playing a much safer angle than the previous time they went his way. Flashbang forward, Lucky tucked away in the corner, not seen critically. And now stepping forward himself is an unknown entity in this round. It does come down to Tesses, and he's holding. Clean double headshot. Can't track the MAC-10, but that could be plenty enough. But Maka's found Kiyosuke on the rotate. Nico in an awkward spot right now. Look out here at long, but we'll drop the bomb. And that should be round. Maka 1v3 with 30 seconds. Bomb other side of the map. And Falcons were down 8-4. The haters start to believe just a little bit. And then it all goes wrong from there. Odyssey locked in. Falcons beginning to dominate. That is 6 in a row.
They're taking over on the CT side. Everyone having their moments. Testis, another example, who hasn't been called upon for much in this map. Able to do his job nicely when it comes down to being able to hold that long pressure. In such a confident angle from Monacy.
What the?
Give him a little bit too much shoulder.
Watching this guy play is a treat.
A lot for Maka in this round as well. 3D Max. I'm going to play without that key tool. Now Nico taking a forward stance here. Caught a little bit by surprise. At least walks away with his life for now. And needing help from Monacy. Finally a miss out of his op scope. Now another one missing here. A connection through the wall. But they start to take charge here. And Maka jumping into the fray. He's going to find the frag breakthrough here. Maka finished off as well. The number's getting punched in, but still a chance on this retake.
Though when he crosses on the smoke, Yusuke was ready for it. Just a moment. Still has a chance, but not quite. Tesses. Possible situation here from long. Some of these rounds coming close. There will have to be guns dropped over. So very important that he holds on to this M4 at the moment. 3D Max want to take this from him. Staying into the pit. Tesses will go ahead and force a team kill. Maybe putting a little bit of the hurt onto 3D Max, but money will be a little awkward for Falcons. As we're going down the late stretch of Dust 2, 3D Max not dead yet.
Not just yet here. Finally a breakthrough round. Being able to catch Falcons off guard. The conditioning of 3D Max has been really late, drawn-out rounds here so far in this map of Dust 2. And that you're probably not all that used to if you're Falcons playing up against this squad. They pick up the pace a little bit. They catch Nico off guard on Cat. Gonna leave them limited. Utility going down range here. Tess is playing up close and personal in case there's any of those late long pops that are so common. Forcing some spam damage and a connection through the smoke there from Tessis. A nice little opening pick is a treat to start off this round for him. But it's going to queue up for this B-side attack. 3 players. And a conga line out towards this B site. Kicks in with the MP9 from the top rope. Setting up Kaiosuke for the spray down. And he'll find all 3. Tons getting mowed down and Maka left alone. Falcons looking for the resurgence after one big swing from 3D Max. They get met with a big punch back here. And Maka just trying to keep his Galil alive. Do not give them any access here.
Well, Monacy's position is known right now. Don't miss this. He won't. No overflick from Monacy. And a good harosh from Zonic right there. Deserved. Full spray down. Kyosuke. That's why he's here. That opener from Testis, mean, and this nasty. 2 rounds away here from locking it in for Falcons, advancing through this lower bracket. This would be the first best of 3 Falcons play today if they win it. They would need a second as well, and Testis trying to expedite that. Easy kill in the body, easy fallback. Man advantage, just dodge the deagles. Testis wants more. Really wants to go through the smoke with the flashbang, and everyone is blind. Testis looking for the ace, and he's gonna get it. All headshots for him. And it is series point for Falcons to eliminate 3D Max.
Turning up on this CT side, it's Testis with a couple crucial long holds here. And another example of what he can bring to the table. 3D Max finally testing him. And he passes with flying colors. Set up with the flashes. And continuing Falcons campaign and the comeback obviously complete now. Just a step away from closing things down and putting themselves one best of 3 away from locking in these playoff opportunities. After what was a scrappy day, a day full of fear, one that Kixon said he was happy to survive versus NRG. The fact that they're still alive here and fighting so much harder than yesterday. The matchup versus NRG taken as a reality check and coming in that much stronger versus this 3D Max squad. Everyone ready for their highlight moment here on Falcons.
Everyone can have a highlight on Falcons. That is a given. Someone will have a moment. 3 series points. Awkward angle, though. Testis seen, but doesn't expose his head, so Exorcist doesn't quite get the kill. Would be baited into the swing, no. Monacy waiting to punish.
You would love to allow Exorcist to give that a go. Gotta wait for the utility first things first. Very high arc on that smoke to land. Monacy playing through it as opposed to behind it. Kaisuke also looking to pressure through tunnels. Timing not working out in his favor. He still nets a single kill somehow. And Nico strikes as well. A 2-for-1 trade before 3D Max are prepared. And now their only option is to head into the Monacy op.
There's the flashbang. Goes high. Monacy not blinded. It's a team kill from Maka. It's a team kill collateral. Exorcist saves Monacy with his head. Monacy scoped up. 2 kills away from eliminating 3D Max, but it won't come easy. Gravity, though, will lose the bomb to the smoke spam. It's got to be a 1v3 for Maka to stay here in Krakow, as Falcons will continue their advance through the lower bracket. Their first series done. Now, 1 best of 3 away from walking into the Toron Arena. An upset from Aurora that sent them down here. Now they are following up, heating up through the tournament. And on the most important day, at the most important moment.